Good morning all. Good morning all. Thank you. I congratulate KIYE for conducting such an excellent event. Dear friends, first of all, I wanted you to clap for all of you, a big round of applause for all of you. So the reason for this is, we are in such a very, short attention span world, okay? So Mr. Naresh must have circulated this message across Telangana and the entire Andhra Pradesh. So among all those people, you are some of the, I would say the great initiative, the people who can take great initiative. You have come all the way, decided to spend your time for learning something new, for getting inspired yourself. So that's the reason, I wanted you to get a big round of applause. I'm Dr. Nagendra. I'm the Managing Director of Unistring Tech Solutions Private Limited. You have just seen Dr. Reddy speaking and then ma'am speaking and then, talking about the conducive environment that we have today for the entrepreneurship. What I wanted to, spend my time maybe in the next 10-15 minutes is especially on how is all this possible? Okay, so as a beginner, can you think of, dream of, and something very big, and then is it really possible to achieve? This is something which I would like to address and then give you a kind of perspective and then a platform in which you can start believing in this really something which is possible to be achieved. Okay, so this is what I would like to focus on. I talk, more about this technological innovation. How do we, condition ourselves to achieve this? Today, our Dr. Honorable Prime Minister's slogan across the world today is Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India. We believe, a bit ahead in this slogan. So we think that we should design in India and then produce it for the world. That is the slogan with which we are actually driving the company. Before I get into the details, I'll just take a minute on giving you a glimpse of what and who we are. Can you go to the next slide, please? So Unistring, as I said, I'm the Managing Director of the Unistring, and the next to me on the photo is CEO Srinivas Raju. We are the friends together, started this company. So we have been friends for the past 20-25 years. So we lived this dream together, and then we started a company with only one purpose. We wanted to ensure that India starts getting a lot of self-reliance in electronic warfare technologies. This is the motto with which we have started this company. We started maybe with 30-40 people. So today we are about 350 plus people. And then we have, today we are dealing with orders worth of 300 crores in the company. We had an investor in the company, which is Gen Technologies. They're again, 8,000-9,000 crores market cap company. So these are all not, small achievements. These have come with a lot of dedication and the time and the team that we have. Okay. This is about us. To just make you understand in a more detailed way, I'll just go to the next slide. Next slide, please. So just to make you understand what we do, a small video. If you are unable to play from here, you can play straight from the video. So in the folder, you have a video. Yeah.
Correction, forest back to your left. The soft kill and the hard kill engagement has been initiated
whatever you are seeing on the screen, these are all the systems that are being developed by the company,
being detected, the target
of course, except for the guns.
to the electro-optical system for initiation of the
So
track.
this is a system to detect the drones and then do an attack on these drones, or prevent the attacks that are possible to happen from the drones.
And commence tracking.
So we have spotted a drone. Camera now is started tracking this drone.
The data is being processed by the data fusion control center and being fed to the right upgraded L-70 gun, which is in
Then we will engage this drone by using guns.
Gentlemen, please look towards the right upgraded L-70.
This all happens automatically.
You can see that the right upgraded L-70 gun has skewed towards the incoming drone. The orders for the engagement has been given to shoot down the incoming drone.
So, can you go to the next slide, please? So, in India today, we are the only company who are designing and supplying these kind of systems, especially in the counter drone
Gentlemen,
domain. Yeah. So this journey started somewhere in 2018, where we have taken a decision that at that time the drone was not really perceived to be a great threat. But we have taken a decision that no matter what happens, we will invest our next 2 years of time on developing these technologies, okay, and then come out with the solution. By the time really the government and the threat started perceiving somewhere in 2020, 2021, we have done a lot of research without any inputs, without any orders, funding. And then by the time the actual threat started, we are there in the game, and then we are able to demonstrate the systems to the users and then convince them that these are something which they are, they can have to protect their bases, protect their assets, protect the boundaries. And then we could demonstrate the systems, and then the rest is history. Today, our systems are guarding a lot of critical assets in India, and we have orders more to execute for Indian Army, Air Force, Navy, and we are also doing it for the friendly countries. So, this kind of technologies which are in the electronic warfare, India earlier used to be known as the importer, Dr. Reddy was saying. So, we started breaking these customs, and then we started exporting these kind of systems from India to the world. These are all some of the just pictures. The right side corner, that what you are seeing is a radar. Then the left one, that what you are seeing is an RF detection and jammer. Every piece of this system except for the chips, so we have indigenously designed inside, and then the systems have been tested, cleared, qualified for all the rugged environment that it is supposed to withstand for the military applications, and they have been supplied to the services. Go to the next slide, please. So, in order to achieve these kind of things, of course, a lot of it is actually innovation. So, we wanted to give you a perspective on understanding how this innovation, can be possible as an ordinary guy. How do you think of this? So just before getting into that, I wanted to give you a glimpse of what has happened, and then how really we should convince or condition our minds in order to go there. Okay. So when I question this, normally what do you get to know or what do you understand? Can you go to the next slide? So as per a recent index, what madam was also referring, okay, a bit ago, a while ago. So this is the innovation index that has been presented by a company. As per this, we are there at global ranking 42. But that's not what I wanted to discuss. Go to the next slide, please. So and this is something which again we should start thinking. We have about 1.428, so that's the number that we have today in terms of our population, the largest population in the country. But if you see, still we are lacking in terms of building IP with respect to the kind of, the resources, people that we have. This is something which, we need to understand. Go to the next slide, please. And of course, the companies which are in the Global Innovation Index, if you even look at them, so why I have given all this is something which is very, very important for us to understand. Go to the next slide. And this is another factor that we need to, consider. Although the numbers have started going down, but this is significant number that the number of students are going out. This is what is exactly the status today. Then I wanted you to just flip and then understand about our past. Just go back. You know what is this? Way back in 10th century, so this is a university in India, okay, Nalanda University. The story was slightly different, during then. So those days, the people across the world used to come to India. They used to learn the technologies. They used to understand the science. This university is considered to be one of the highly reputed university in the world at that point of time. Not only this, just go to the next slide. We have, a gold mine of engineering capabilities that have slowly got forgotten or may not, were not properly documented, so something like that has happened. And this is all our ancient engineering. Just go to the next slide. And this is all our, ancient science. Go to the next slide. So, we were really, doing well when, the world has no clue of what exactly is the science and engineering is. We have done a lot of, a lot of work, a lot of commendable work as a country, that point of time as a country, Brar. So then what happened to that glory? Can you go to the next slide? How could, we started believing in the last 100, 150 years to do anything, to do better things, okay? So to, to excel ourselves, not this country, we should move out of this country. This kind of thought process has emerged. So how did it emerge? So what happened was, we need to just understand the invasions that has happened, over, centuries, and then the colonialism, that has really, that has ruled the country for about 150 to 200 years. A belief system has been inculcated. I mean, a lot of culture and heritage and the confidence has been destroyed. Okay, belief system has been inculcated in us, and then we all started thinking that, yeah, so in order to excel, not this place, something else is an ideal platform. So we have to actually come out of this kind of, the conditioning that we have been subjected to for the centuries, and then especially for the last 200 years. Go to the next slide. So, yes, we need to do an unlearning of this better experience. Go to the next slide. How do we do that? As Dr. Satheesh Reddy sir was mentioning a while ago, we have to start this by understanding where, the respect and the global might come from for any country. For example, if I question you, what is the mighty country in the world today? So, to earn that respect back, if you question yourself, what are the main things that one looks at? Okay, it's more of business and commerce. Okay, this is the one, if, a country is doing well, and that is where you consider that as a, mighty country, or the country which is supposed to be our destination for a good living. So now why? In the business also, my main area of interest that I wanted to explain to you is about the defense, because traditionally, if you look at the history, the countries which have ruled the world, or the might that any country has got is all out of the might that they have built in the defense, and that's the that's the place where a lot of innovation happens, a lot of technology starts coming in. Okay, so defense in the business segment also, defense is something which normally if you start excelling, okay, and that's where you would be able to really, start getting the respect that you need or owe, from the old. Next. So this is where, a few years ago, the country started thinking, and that's how Dr. Kalam's vision started. So the moment we started working on the missiles, started demonstrating these technologies, people started looking at us. Oh no, these guys are not, the ones who are not supposed to be undermined. So they can do a lot of wonders. So slowly, the world started looking at us. In the last 10 years, the scenario has been completely changed. Go to the next slide. You know what happened with this? The entire world started tuning to our dance because of these kind of events. What is the beauty in this? Now here, as a country, we have been trying to get the Oscar or something like that for the past, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but it never happened. But when we started looking back at our roots and then building, a solid product around those roots, naturally, the world started looking at us. So this is where we should start, doing a little change in our thought process and then, start thinking towards going back to our roots and then inculcating that habit, our thought process into our developments. Go to the next slide, please. So today we have a very, very explosive environment in terms of the defense, especially the kind of ecosystem, the kind of hand-holding, the support system that has been initiated by the government is tremendous. So there is an ample opportunity for all of you to be an entrepreneur or to be a career aspirant in the defense domain. This is one such program. What happened under this program is, just go to the next slide, please. So you just, if you can make a presentation, there is a problem. For the problem, you think that there is a solution. If you can impress with a presentation, you will get an order for 3 crores, or you get an order for 10 crores, or you may be able to get an order for even 50 crores, in which 50% of it will be funded by the government. That's the kind of encouragement today the government is doing in terms of, the companies, startups who wants to work for defense. Okay, and these are the numbers that have been achieved in the, last 5 years, I would say. Go to the next slide, please. And of course, this is another scheme from DRDO in order to encourage the startups, companies, fund their projects in order to develop the systems that they are in need of. Go to the next slide, please. And this is another contest. Go to the next slide, please. So this is the data. As Satheesh Reddy sir was explaining, these are the kind of numbers that we have achieved in terms of the exports of the systems. So being from the largest importer of the defense equipment, now we started exporting our systems, and that too in a phenomenal way. And the government has, set up a large number of, big targets in order to, go with the exports, especially in the defense domain. So not only setting up the targets, what they have done is, they have given a very, very conducive environment. Just go to the next slide, please. So today, in India, if a services wants some kind of equipment, so among this list of about 750, 400, about 1500 systems, no matter what, so if you wanted to actually buy these systems, any services, they can't buy it or they can't import it. It has to be done by only Indian companies. That's the kind of environment that the government has created today. Go to the next slide. So anyway, so in order to achieve this kind of innovation, it is not a big deal. So it is all about the mindset and the conditioning that one has to undergo. So once this comes right, and that's where you really, start, making yourself in the lines of innovativeness. Okay. So what you will have to do is, if at all, as an individual, let us say you wanted to start a company, okay, or you wanted to set up a career in the defense domain, especially if you wanted to be an entrepreneur, okay, is it possible for us to come out with an innovative idea? Is it possible for us to sustain a company? How do we condition ourselves in order to achieve this particular thing? This is what I wanted to say. So first thing that what you need is, you need a very, very deep purpose for it. So for us, it was like, stopping the imports of, the defense equipment, especially in the electronic warfare domain. This was our very, very deep purpose. And when our system is working at the, boundary, at the border, and then protecting the guards of lives of your soldiers, the kind of satisfaction that you get is immense. And then keep evolving yourselves. If you adapt, learn all these skills, then automatically you are on the path to set up a challenging, innovative organization. Go to the next slide, please. So if you wanted to still further understand, because you all believe that chess is a game where, only talented people can win. But, this gentleman, Polgar, has actually conducted an experiment. So he gave birth to 3 children with an aim that he will make all these children, whoever, whether girl or boy, whoever comes, okay. So he decided that he wanted to actually make them as chess grandmasters, because you believe that if somebody has to play chess, this guy has to be like born talented, or, he has to born with an innate talent. But he proved it otherwise. It is not about the talent, okay. So if at all you wanted to be innovative, if at all you wanted to crack something even in a domain which is really, really challenging, it's all about the mindset, okay, the decision that you take, and then the focus with which you work towards it, and then finally you will be able to achieve this goal. Go to the next slide. So what's the key? So key is, it's all about making your mindset and then taking a decision. Yes, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, okay, and then we wanted to do this particularly. That's all. So the moment you take this decision, rest of the things will follow automatically. Good. So then if you ask me, okay, to be specific, okay, tell me, we wanted to be an entrepreneurs. Is there a innovative, challenging opportunity exists today? Yes. I just wanted to give a few glimpses of it, and then maybe if it is useful for you, you can get back to me later on this. So now you just look at how the warfare has progressed traditionally with the swords and then guns and then tanks, and then the battlefield is dominated by the aircrafts. This is all past. Now if you see whatever is happening on the latest, the latest wars that are happening across the world, say it, the one which has started a few years ago between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and then today between Russia and Ukraine. So there is something phenomenal that is happening at these countries in this war. So sky is an advantage. There is an item called a drone or unmanned aerial vehicle which has started changing the entire warfare rules and games. So there is a potential opportunity in this domain. So this is a very, very upcoming domain. So normally if you wanted to set up something in the defense domain, a legacy is required, okay. You will have to carry a lot of expertise, experience and all that. But this is a very, very, young problem. This is a very, very, recent problem. So not much of the work has been done across the world. Anybody has a startup, an individual, a group of 3-4 people, there are tremendous opportunities in this area, okay, in order to evolve the solutions. And this is a very, very new problem for the entire world. And you have ample opportunity to provide solutions to these problems, understand them. You can start this from your garage, or you can start it from your classroom, or you can start it from your home with 2 or 3 people, and then start finding the solutions for the real problems that are actually coming up in this particular domain, okay. So either in the entrepreneurship or in the career, if you wanted to be really successful now, you will have to adapt to these rapid changes, and you will have to get our skills next, and you will have to be consistently working on them, and then of course, okay, so you should show legacy. I have done this, now I am on the path of going to the next mile like this. So this is all I have. So if you wanted more, let us say, okay, boss, now we have understood, maybe as a beginner we have an opportunity to start. Okay, we have we have an opportunity to start. We know the process. How do we actually establish ourselves as a company? No, but it may not be enough. So if some of you are thinking that money is a problem, okay, I have a bright idea. If somebody can fund me something, I'm ready to do it. We are open. If anybody has a solution or a proposal, you please come to us. We have set aside a fund, okay. On an individual or a company or a group, we can fund up to 10 lakhs for you, okay. So in case you guys have a problem, you are ready to offer the solution, or and you have something which is innovative, okay, enough to change the circumstances, you please come to us. Or if you wanted to work with us, or maybe you wanted to see or pursue defense as a career, scan this, okay, write to us. We will be able to give you all the possible help, or else maybe later you can also get in touch with Mr. Naresh. Whatever way that we want, because on a personal note for me, adding more and more entrepreneurship in this country, and then seeing more and more people do their hard work in this country rather than going out doing something else. So I am personally obsessed with this idea, so I am ready to go any mile forward in order to help the people to achieve this kind of goal. Thank you.